Morning, everyone. Welcome. Well, afternoon. I don't know what it is in your area. It's afternoon here, actually. Hope everyone's well. How's it, Lincoln? And Greg. Hey, g'day. How's it? Welcome. Good to have you on board. It's probably a lot later there. At least you guys have got the F1 Grand Prix this weekend. I don't. Okay. Peter, hello, everyone. The sound was muted, but you should be able to hear it now. It should be on now, if I'm not mistaken. I hope you guys can hear me. Let me know if you can't. I can hear now. Yeah, okay. Yeah, the sound was muted at the start with the chart running and whatnot. I was just setting up, so it's all fine. Yeah, all good to. Oh, let me take the risk factor off here. And don't forget, trading's risky. Right, so there we go. We are live. We are on. Let's get this show on the road. Let's go to the charts and have a look. When Eugene's here, he must just let me know because I just want to show him something quickly that he asked. And all good. Perfect. So corrections have been interesting. I just left that on the 5-minute chart so you guys can see how fast these charts can move when you're on the lower time frames and what can actually happen. Look at the size of that red candle down there. Amazing, isn't it? But okay, let's have a look at our trades. Let's see what we got. Okay, if this thing will ever allow me to do that. Let's go back to our normal time frame. Firstly, goodness me. All right, so unfortunately, the CHF JPY got stopped out on a trailing stop earlier. Over here, I wasn't looking, and the stop had trailed up. It came back and took it out, but that's okay. It was a profit, but it was a ridiculously low profit, unfortunately. So the history on that's bad. 28.91 is the profit. That's terrible. That's really terrible, but that's okay. So be it. But then you can see I bought into Brent crude oil. My feeling on Brent this morning, as I put it in the live shows, the members show trade of the day. There's a support here, a big support. It's broken through. It's broken through this trend resistance. It's telling me to buy. So we bought. The US dollar, Canadian dollar is still doing its short thing, so that's fine. The US dollar CHF is a good long for anyone who didn't get it the other day, and you can grab it now. And then, of course, the Euro, Great British Pound, I took a sell. Looked like a good sell because it came off the resistance. It broke through the trend support. It's heading to the downside. The US 500, what's it going to do? Where are we going? And why is this taking so long to come on? There we go. US 500 heading to the downside. I was looking at this 5,500 level and I was excited to get this 5,500 level. Morning, Wendy. But at the same time, I don't just want to trade into it. I'm waiting for it to break through that trend resistance before we get into it and take the trade. I'm guessing that there's news now at this time of the day. Let's just see if I can see what it is on the calendar. Jobless claims, price index, initial jobless claims, the usual jargon that we always used to get in the old days. I used to follow this religiously. Totally doesn't matter to me anymore. You know, years ago, this was always around 200,000 and what's it now? 224, 221. Same as it's always been. You know, when it goes way out of whack, then you can worry about it. And then the guys start moving it up and down and jumping around with the markets, and it's really I take it out of my system so that it doesn't bother me in the least. You can see by these figures moving around here that a lot of people still get very excited about it, and it causes a lot of movement in the markets, but it's temporary movement. It's not permanent movement. If you're trading on 5-minute charts, it makes a difference. But when you're trading on 4-hour charts and daily charts, it's not that big a deal. Eugene, yes, you asked me a question. So I put a little video together for you so that I can show you how to get these bars. Quite easy, really. I'm just going to show you quickly how to get those bars. So everybody knows at the end of the day, because not everybody knows. That's the big thing here. So I'm just going to see if I can find it here. There we go. My little video called Changing Color. And what we're going to do is I'm just going to play it for you so you can see exactly where it is. So if you see on this chart, on the right hand side, there's a little blocky there. You take that and you'll get this little index here with all the colors. And if you right click on these things here, you get them as well. You can change the opacity at the bottom, and that's as easy as it gets. So just right click on that and you'll find your way. So let me get out of that because obviously we don't want to sit there all day. I'm just going to put this back on the normal charts. There you go. So I hope you guys saw that. I hope it was slow enough for you to see it. Because for some reason or another, when I do it on the live on this particular program, if I try and click on this, I can see the index, but you can't. So it hides it. So I wouldn't be able to show you off of this platform. So that's why I put that little thing together. So you can just quickly see. But you just go to the color here. The opacity is at the bottom. Gives you a whole color index. And then you can draw these bars in any way you want. If you want to change the color on an actual line or anything like that, you just right click on it. And that color chart will come up for you. And you can change the color there as well quite quickly. But whatever color you choose on the right bar here, it's gonna always be that color. So it's a bit of a nightmare because I like this color for the resistance and support, but then on my trend lines I kind of like something a bit brighter, and every time I draw a trend line it comes out purple, so I have to change it. That's unfortunate, but every platform's got its positives and its negatives. So Eugene, I hope that helps you, and I hope that sorts your problem out for you and that answers your question. So what size correction are we getting in the US 500? Interesting question. I'm looking at the possibility because I've seen all of this before. This is not the first time I'm seeing this. And let me show you guys a statement that I always see in the markets that's of great interest to me. Every time I see this, it absolutely amazes me. Every time there's a slight correction in the market, every time the market drops by 10% or a little bit, because the markets don't go up in straight lines, they do correct. I always see this headline: why the worst of the stock correction may be over. The stories that come out behind that are insane, and you'll have all these stories coming out constantly while the market's in a little bit of a correction. And eventually when it comes out of that, then you get the that sort of headline sort of changes a little bit and starts to change its thing. The stock market fate all depends on tariffs. The other day it was about inflation. Who knows? It's always different. We'll see how it goes. I don't know if you guys want to do the 5-minute thing today. I'm not too bothered with it. Okay. Boom. Okay, there we go. Back on the charts. Okay, let's see what we got. So yeah, the US 500 is kind of heading to the downside. So 5,500 was what I was looking for. If it gets to 5,200, so be it. And that would be great. This is quite a decent correction. If you were to buy in here and you had space to let it drop a bit further, you'd probably be okay. My biggest concern is if there was more negative news and it drops to the 4,000, it's a bit of a problem. What I would like to wait for on these indexes is for Monday. I'm not really big on holding trades over the weekend on the index that are long, although I would do it if we had a decent correction with a buy to the long side. I am invested in an ETF on the S&P in 1-to-1 cash, but not on trading, not on gear trading at the moment. But I did add to an ETF at this price because I'm quite happy with that as an investment. But on the gear trading, you've got to be careful. And this weekend, I'm off at my daughter's wedding, so I can't even keep an eye on anything or whatever. So I'll just wake up on Monday morning and with a hangover and see what on earth is going on. Okay, how's it, Grizzy? Grizzo? No. If you want to play on the 5 minutes, we can go and play on the 5 minutes. It's all good. We'll definitely do that. I did put them up here, but I'm not going to trade on this account because then I'll be trading with with our funded account, which could go wrong. Could go right, but it could also go wrong. So I don't want to do that to us. That could be tricky as well. Let's just see Brent crude oil. What are you doing? A bit of a red candle there. This dollar CAD is kind of going a bit around there. Yeah, it takes its time, eh? And the Euro Great British Pound seems to be working in our favor. Euro US dollar seems to be going to the downside. Okay, right. It's in this, you look at the Euro US dollar, it's in this area here. It's right in here, right into this demand level of money. I'm wondering if it's going to take this money and bounce around and go up. This could come down to here as well. So I'm thinking there might be a buy coming in here. Let's just keep an eye on that as well. Might be good. Yeah, we can go over the funded thing. This account was... let me just... confusing myself here. Hang on. I need to get back to another page so I can show you that stuff. Let's just go over here. Let's see if that opens up. Okay, so effectively you get two different accounts, all right? And I actually just opened a challenge account because I don't need to mess around with these things. Most of my money's made elsewhere on the investments and on the cash accounts. So this is just so that we can, well, you guys can learn from some of my experience and whatnot and how these things work and how the trades are taken and the account for us. So this one is now $89. Actually, it was $100 previously. Now it's 89. Great stuff. 25,000. We could have got a 50,000 for 149. No big deal. But the reason I chose this step evaluation one is the profit target's 10. The max overall drawdown is 6%, which gives us a bit of room. And the daily drawdown is 4%. What you've got to be careful of on the instant funding, Wendy, is your max overall drawdown is 5% and your daily drawdown is 3%. And your account is $179 for a $25,000 account, which is far more expensive. Now, you know, for someone who's trying to make money quickly, who's trying to get some dosh out of it, okay, I get it. But I'm using it for a different purpose. I'm using it for education purposes. So for me, it really doesn't matter. I'm not too concerned. And I mean, if we lose that account, we'll just buy another one. And it's, yeah, you can literally buy two for the price of one. I'm not really interested in making the money from it as from my side goes, because I have a rather large cash account that works for me and a rather large investment account that works for me and one or two other smaller accounts. So this is just for you guys. All right. So yeah, you can get these accounts here. Obviously, I left a link there for anyone who wants one. But, you know, as far as these accounts go, these funded accounts go, you know, when I talk about them, you know, I'm not trying to, how can I put it, sort of, I don't want to promote them as such. I don't want to say they're the best thing since sliced bread. I don't want to put my stamp of approval on them, because there is a lot of controversy around these funded markets and prop firms and all that sort of thing. So, you know, I don't know what's going on there. It's a new thing. It's been around for a couple of years, and there's a lot of guys that have caused a lot of problems within the market. So you never really know what you're getting. So all I can suggest is for someone that doesn't have the $50,000 or $20,000 or whatever it is to put down in the markets, and you want to start trading, and you really want to get away from the demo accounts, so you want to get onto real trading, then that's a great option for those people. And it might be you that you can spend a limited amount of money, a small amount of money, to get into the market with real trading, and then qualify for real trading and start getting paid. And if you do start getting paid back, I mean, if you spent $90 on an account and you make $150, take the money out, and guess what? That account's now free. You know, when I see people that are complaining about prop firms and funded accounts and they lost $100,000, I'm like, who are these people? Because I would never leave that amount of money in a funded account ever. How did you even get to that size? How did you even get to that point? So no, I wouldn't do that. I'd take my money out as soon as I make a profit every single time and just keep the account size. And then if I decide I want a bigger account, I'll just buy a bigger challenge or whatever the case. What your target should be is to make as much money as you possibly can out of that funded account, take it all out, put it in your bank account, and then take that and start a nice cash broker account somewhere down the road. That's what your ambition should be with a funded account. 4 likes, 21 watching. Come on, let's support Rob with a like. Ah, thanks, sure, that would be great. Yeah. The account is ready for trading immediately. So you get the account immediately. It's like off the bat, they give it to you. If you have skills, then funded accounts are golden. There you go. Look, the skills you develop over time. Look, if you lose 1 or 2 accounts, let me put it to you this way, because, it's just the funded accounts are great if you have skills, but so are cash accounts if you have skills. The big difference with a big cash account and a funded account is if I lose the money on my cash account, I lose a really serious amount of money. Whereas if I lose it on this funded account, it's just another funded account that I have to buy because they'll just, kind of say, oh, you didn't make it and cut you off. So on that side, you kind of don't lose as much money if things go pear-shaped. But if you're good at it, either way, cash accounts are better in the long run because you make your money at the end of the day, but you are risking your own money, of course. That's the big thing. And yeah, pleasure, Eugene. I'm glad you got it. So just, I actually see it as quite a good thing for people. It's a great thing. It's something that's helping a lot of people get into the markets that couldn't get into the markets before. And I know a lot of them are BAM scammers or whatever you want to call them. I couldn't possibly tell you who's who. I couldn't promise you anything from any funded account. And I can at the drop of a coin just choose anyone. The only reason I deal with these guys is because you're allowed to hold over weekends, you're allowed to trade at news, you're allowed to trade your own way, and they leave you alone. They don't mess you around. Whereas some of these other guys have got some insane rules, which those are tricky. Those are tricky because with those insane rules, they make it very difficult for you to actually trade, and that becomes a problem. But if you can trade normally like this, then it's okay. Then you can actually take a funded account, work with it, and it's actually beneficial to you. All I say is when you make a profit, take the money out, withdraw. Withdraw, withdraw, withdraw. That's my policy on funded accounts, withdraw. Because you just don't know. It's like crypto, I don't invest in crypto, but I'll trade it. And I won't stay in it, I won't sit in it because I don't trust it, because what I see is fresh air. I see a similar picture with prop firms all around, and I don't trust them. Be honest with you, I don't trust any of them. But by the same token, if I can make a bit of dosh out of them and take my chances, it's worth the gamble to spend $100 to make $1,000 or whatever the case out of them and walk away. So I got no problem with that. It's just the guys that are complaining are guys that for some other unknown, phenomenal, strange, weird, unknown reason decided they're going to leave all their money in there, all their profit in there, and not take it out. It's crazy at the end of the day. I don't even do that with a cash account. What I always advise with a cash account as well is if you choose the size of your cash account, so if you choose a $20,000 account, a $50,000, a $10,000, $100,000, whatever size your account is, when it starts to grow, take the profit out and put it in your bank account. It's better off there. Or invest it in equities or something to that effect. And just leave your trading account at the size you want your trading account to be. Trade on that trading account size. And if you want to grow it, then make a conscious decision. I don't want a $100,000 account anymore. I now want a $150,000 account. Change it to that size. End of story. Don't let it grow and grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. And then just start trading bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, unless that's your intention. Because I've seen it happen with friends where they just leave the money in the brokerage account, and then one day the broker disappears and they disappear with your money as well. So choose a size of a brokerage account that is comfortable for you, that you like, that works for you, and keep it at that size. What I used to do if I You know, for me, $100,000 account is huge. It's a big account. So for me, I would rather open a second account with that amount of money in it and split the difference, thus being safe. You know, it's me. It's the way I work with risk. You know, so I don't want to risk it all in one broker. I would rather say, okay, you guys have got enough. I'm going to give some to the other broker now, and then that way I know I've spread my risk a little bit as well if anything happens. And that's why many traders like myself, old traders, have more than one brokerage account for that reason alone. But you always have your favorite. You always have the main one, and then you have others that you work around and work with, so that you've spread your risk a little bit. And some offer you different sort of instruments to others. Some offer you different options to others, different spreads to others. Some are better on Forex, some are better on indexes. You know, you can work around that, and you also get different information out of them. Some offer you news, some don't. Some offer you even education, where some don't. You know, so you get all these different options from the different brokers as well. So if you can spread it around, it's always better. Yes, I'm always in real estate. Yes, I have property. I actually, for a while, I was trying to get my license to have my own estate agency and property and all that. And I went and before you can do that, you actually had to kind of work as an agent. So I went and tried to do that. But then the Oaks didn't realize I'm a businessman, and I figured out that they were all stealing from their trust accounts. This is insane. I tried to report them to the licensing authority and all the rest of it. Different companies, man. I mean, at least 5 companies at once I spotted, and they did nothing. So I walked away, and I didn't even want to open a shop. I didn't want to have anything to do with it. So my investments in real estate are real. If I buy property, I own it, and that's it. End of story. I don't even bother with all that other stuff anymore, or in between, or middleman, or anything like that. But I did dabble in it for a while because I thought it would be clever to have some kind of real estate business. And no, I realized that everyone in the industry is, well, not everyone. I mean, there's obviously honest people, lots of them, but I found quite a lot of dishonest people and quite a maze of terrible. Oh, it's toxic, like you cannot believe. So I thought, no, we'll stay away from that industry completely. So if you invest in property, you can invest in it on the market as well. You can buy shares. There's loads of shares that you can buy that are property related as well. But I also own real property. Okay. Luigi, hi to all. Hey Luigi, how's it? Welcome. Good to have you on board. So yeah, I've done a lot of different things in my life as well. In the side while I was trading, I've always had these things on the go because I'm always keeping myself busy. There's a time when I'm going to get tired and just sit down and relax. But if you'll find as well, if you're a trader, and especially if you're starting at a young age like I did, you can't just sit and trade. You can't just sit, because what else are you going to do? I mean, you're not old, and then you're just investing in the markets and buying and selling stuff, and there's not really a lot of work. You got to find other things to do, man. You got to find other things to keep you busy as well. So yeah, don't think it's all. And everybody thinks that it's all a holiday, but it's not. It's hard work, but there is a lot of other things that you need to keep your mind occupied with as well. Kevin, how's it? Good to have you on board again. Excellent stuff. So yeah, I'm not going to spend the whole day here today because I do have to get packed, because tomorrow I'm off. Going to stay in a fancy holiday wine farm and off to my daughter's wedding. Going to have a bit of fun. All right, so I should be going through the charts for you guys. Okay, just let me know if you guys want to do the 5-minute thing, if you want to choose a 5-minute trade on that demo account, and I'll do it. But if you want to, we'll mess around with it if you want to. Okay, let's just see what we got here today. Euro US dollar, didn't I make a call on that today? And it's coming into this area. Yeah, that's the one we're waiting for, to see if it'll give us a green candle out of there. Is that 8 minutes left? Let's see what that candle does. No to the 5 minute from me. Okay, so that's great. No, then let's leave it. Let's leave it. I was just doing it for fun, and I just wanted to show, because a lot of people tend to think that going to the 5 minute charts and the 1 minute charts is somehow going to make them money, and it's somehow going to do good for them. I just wanted to try and prove that it's not. But we kind of won those 2 trades over those 2 days. It was crazy, but okay, it's demo accounts, and it's really difficult to show on that. So yeah, it is what it is. And we look, if you think about it, you're going to trade this on a 4 hour, you can sit back, relax, take your time, and you can do all those other things that you need to do. Like I said to you now, you've got to keep yourself busy. But on 5 minute charts, you could sit glued to a computer screen all day. And I just don't think that's healthy for anyone, to be honest with you. Okay. Yesterday was a bad day for me. I was in a losing streak and then went aggressive to try to recover, ended up with a big loss. I'm going to talk to you about that right now. Thank you, Whitney. Thank you. Got to walk the daughter down the aisle on Saturday, and that is a big one for me. Thank you for the congratulations. I will enjoy the moment. I can see myself having a couple of Frosties and enjoying my evening and making my speech. But I should be good at that, as you know. Okay. Great British Pound CAD. Great British Pound CAD. Did we put it down? Let's have a look. GBP CAD. Let's just put it on the watch list. What the hell? Let's see what it's doing. Bum, 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 bum. Great British Pound CAD. It's very bullish, eh? Seriously bullish. Bum, bum. It's jumping around a bit, but it's seriously bullish. Okay, I was trying to change the colors after hearing you talk on the trade of the day. Okay, did you see the video I showed earlier? It's earlier in the video. Okay, if you want to go back to it, just have a look a bit later. I made a separate video so that you guys can see how it works. So you can actually see those, because for some other reason, when I click on this, you can't see the scale that comes up here on this particular program. I don't know why that is. Something to do with the technology there or whatever. And then on these things, if you right click on them, it also brings up the same. There's a little color thing on the left, and it brings up a scale as well. So I made a little video for everyone to watch, and I put it on very early in the video. So if you go back on the video when we're done, you can just have a quick look at that. That's a separate video which actually shows the scales. But you just click on those and you'll get a little scale, and you can play around with the colors there. It's quite easy. Okay, so Pratish said that yesterday was a bad day. Was in a losing streak and then went aggressive to try to recover, ended up with a big loss. Now, this is something that I've always advised against. And what do I call it? Does anybody know what I call it? Maybe you do. What I call it revenge trading. Revenge trading is one of those things. I always talk about FOMO, fear of missing out. I talk about fear. I talk about patience and sitting on your hands. Those are big things that are going to affect your trading. But another really big thing that's going to affect your trading is revenge trading. It's all part of fear. It's all part of FOMO, okay? And revenge trading is an absolutely nightmarish thing. Because what it actually does is your brain just goes to mush. And particularly in a news event, for example, you have jobs figures or something like that, like today, and you get all involved in it. And you get this long candle. I'm just going to go to this 5 minute chart here, and you get this long red candle, and it starts going back up, and it goes all the way back up to here. And then the revenge trade is, it's going back up. It's going the way I wanted it to. After getting out here, you buy it again, and it goes all the way back down again and ends up down there. See where it ends up? All the way down there. You got to be so careful of that, because it will catch you out, and it will catch you out almost every single time. You see, this is the thing with stop loss that I always tell you guys. If you have a stop loss in place, if you've chosen your stop loss, make sure it's an invalidation area. And when your price gets to that stop loss, ask yourself this question. Why would I move the stop loss if I decided at the beginning of this trade that if it got to this price, it would be invalid and I wouldn't take the trade? Why would I now be moving this stop loss? For what purpose would I be moving this stop loss? Do I see a clear, beautiful new trade here, or am I just being silly? And then you'll answer your own question, and you'll probably say to yourself, wait a minute, there's no trade here. Let's just take the stop loss and get out and wait. And then look for a completely new trade, even if it's on the same product. Let's say you're trading gold on a regular basis and it's gold and it takes you out, and you just sit and wait for a new trade to play out. Wait for it to tell you which way it wants to go. Don't just jump back in. And that's how you avoid revenge trading. You've got to clear your mind and say, that trade's over. That trade's over. Look at Brent. We lost Brent recently. We lost badly on Brent the other day. And here we are, back in the trade again. Guess what? We're losing again. But it's okay. We're not revenge trading it. We've taken a completely clean and new trade. It's on 5 minutes. That's why it's doing that. You see, we've taken a completely clean and new trade because it broke through there, and we're looking at that trade. Over here, we got taken out. So we're doing the same thing again. We shall see what happens, but it's a new trade. We're not revenge trading it. So very careful of those revenge trades. Be very careful. Those are going to hurt you, and they're going to hurt you as much as fear of missing out, as much as fear, as much as not being patient. They will, because what you see is you get out of the trade, and then you see it going back the way it was supposed to go, and you think you're going to get your money back, and you jump back into the trades, and then boom. Or, like you say, you get aggressive with other trades, maybe not even the same trade, maybe other trades. You start like trying to get that money back, and then it takes you out. Just be patient, be calm. It's a bit like, I don't know how many of you guys have ever played football or something to that effect, or rugby or whatever, and you go a goal down. Don't panic and try and go and rush in and try and get it back immediately, because you might go 2 goals down. That's the point. You've got to be patient, keep things the way they are, and keep on pushing the same old way and keep on pushing through. Eventually you'll get there. You don't try and make it all in a day as well. Give yourself space, try and make it over the year, and then you'll be that much more calm about the situation. With trading, try not to be making money on a monthly basis to pay your bills or a weekly basis to pay your bills. Try and have enough money for that for the year, and then try and make your money for the year for the next year, and give yourself some space. I think on TradingView, I have to go into the settings. Oh, on TradingView, similar thing. Yeah, it's just the setting. You just right-click on it, Kevin. Just right-click on it, and you'll find that. Okay. I know how you feel. It is very, very easy to revenge trade as it annoys you. You have just lost, but you have to sit on your hands and move on, leave it be, and move on. You're an utter desperation from my own experience, lol. Yeah, look, Lincoln, you yourself, I think you mentioned previously that you traded on those lower time frames. That's where it comes from often. The lower time frames are the worst. Those are the ones that wipe you out the biggest. But yeah, it's almost, yeah, it's a bit like you're feeling that desperation. You're feeling that, when you start taking a loss, I can't be taking a loss here. And that's why people average down. That's why they dollar cost average. That's why they move stop losses away. Because, the belief is when you're in a loss and you're hitting the stop loss, your belief is if you stay in the trade, you haven't lost. But actually you have. And actually you're going to lose more. Because there's a point where you can't take it anymore. And it's that point that you're going to lose a lot of money. That's why we put stop losses in place. Whether they're manual or automatic, it doesn't matter. That's why we put them in place. You've got to learn to lose to make a profit, because otherwise you're going to suffer. You're going to take lots of pain. I can promise you that. You're going to take lots of pain if you don't learn to lose. It's a painful experience. So the question I'm getting here from Pomplus is, hey Rob, are you bullish or bearish on the market currently? Here's the situation. While we're going down, what I see is we are bearish. That stays as it is. Overall, on the bigger picture, I am bullish. I feel that in the long run, we're going to go up, and we're probably going to finish the year even at maybe 6,600. I'm quite happy with that. But to buy it and to be confident, because nobody's got a crystal ball, and we've made those mistakes before, assuming that something's going to happen. What you have to look at is what you see. So if this breaks through the resistance and gives me a bullish signal, I will be bullish. Until that time, I remain bearish on the short term, and I'll wait until it gets to a point. I think 5,500 might be it, but it could get to 5,200. So that's why I wouldn't buy in right now, just waiting to see what it does. I don't think it'll go much below that, and then I think we'll head up and we'll get a good bull run from there. I think everybody's just a little bit nervous at the moment. Fundamentally, everybody's like thinking about all these tariffs and all these funny things and inflation, and there's always two sides to every story. There's the guys that hate Trump, and the guys that like him, and and that affects the markets at the end of the day. So bullish or bearish? Short-term bearish, long-term I'm actually bullish on it. An ETF on a cash account that's not geared or leveraged, I actually do own loads of S&P, and I bought more. At this level, I actually bought more. That gives you an idea of how bullish I am for the future. Okay, so it's not easy to trade any account, no matter what. I spent my whole life preparing for this, lots of losing. Yeah, there you go, Lincoln. Okay, so I'll be entering, you see, this is going down, it's bearish. Now, remember what I taught you guys. When it goes through the trend resistance to the upside, the short-term trend resistance, it shows you that it's changing structure. Once it starts changing structure, you can look at the picture, and that's the time to take the bullish trade. I wouldn't trade it short. Let me put it that way. I won't trade short on it. I don't see it going much below these levels, much below 5,200. It could. I mean, I've seen it before where it's dropped out in the sky, But not this time around. I'm not seeing enough in the markets to tell me that this thing's going to crash down to 3,000 or 4,000 or anything like that. That's doomsday news, that. No, I'm thinking sort of we've had a good correction. It's probably going to start finding its feet somewhere down here, and we can start going back up. So yeah, we will be entering on that. The random coding channel asks, which account do you recommend to start with? I can't recommend anything. I just can't recommend anything to you, because that's not what I do. But if you want to start with a funded account and you've got $100 or $89, start on the 25,000. That'll get you going. Okay, if you're doing funded account. If you're going cash account, then just choose a broker that's good and put whatever cash you can afford. But yeah, on the funded accounts, 25K is enough. Good enough. Unless you want a big account like a 50K or a 100K, that's up to you. I mean, it depends how badly you want to make the money out of it. For example, I don't need to make money out of this funded account, so I'm doing it for the sake of you guys and for the sake of the channel and that. So this is advantageous to me in that principle. But as far as if you want to make money, maybe you want to go for a 100K account. It might be better. Okay. Do you trade every asset, or do you have special assets? No, I trade anything that's tradable. If your tackies are tradable, I'll trade them. No problem. I'll trade anything. And Pradesh says this March month is very choppy. Guess what? Every month's very choppy. And if it wasn't choppy, we wouldn't have anything to trade. Just putting that in there. Rob, would you be keen on a coffee get together and members in and around the Cape? Yeah, let me get my head together and we'll have a look at it sometime. We'll have a look and see how many members there are and what we're looking at, and and that sort of thing. We'll see what we can do. But I've got a lot on the go at the moment, so yeah, give us a chance before we do that. But on a funded account, you have to be successful long term, or they will close your account, right? Yes, that's correct, Kevin. If you don't make it, they close your account. But this particular funded trader markets, what they do, you can have the account forever as long as you don't lose the 6%. If you lose the 6%, then you have to buy another account. Okay, and you have to take, I think, 3 trades a month. Just read the rules. I think you have to take 3 trades a month. I think we've beaten that criteria. We've taken 4. No, we've taken a lot more. I mean, on the month, transactions history, there's quite a few trades here that we've taken this month playing around. So, yeah. But at the end of the day, as long as you guys understand that it's going to take a while to learn how to trade, you don't learn how to trade in a day, and it takes a long time. And it's hard. It's hard. It's not easy. If I can give you guys any advice, invest. Just invest if you can. I'm actually going to put a series of videos out about investing so that people can understand what that's about, finance and retirement and that sort of thing. Because really, guys, in all honesty, most of my income comes from investing. So it's time in the market, and it's much better than actual, when it comes to profits, it's much better than trading. But look, when it comes to trading is fun. It keeps you busy and you make a quick buck here and there. So it's great and it's good. And it's a bit like, when you drop onto the 5-minute charts and you play games here and whatnot, you can do that as well if you're bored. But trading makes you money. Investing makes you much more over time. Even now with this market crash, or correction, let's not call it a crash. With this correction, my portfolios are still 100% way in profit, so it doesn't affect me. Whereas with trading, had I been long on this and this happened, I would probably have lost money. Keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind. Always important. So yeah, US 500, not doing much, is it? Gold did an amazing jump. It was sitting around doing nothing, and then it jumped. It gave you this really nice jump. So to get rid of these things as well, Kevin, you just right-click. There's a dustbin on the right, and you just click it out. I think on TradingView, you just right-click and delete them. It goes away. Yeah. All the different... I get confused between the platforms as well, and you go back to MT5, and then it's completely different again. A good position size calculator that accommodates the ZAR. What platform are you trading on, Grizo? Because the only one that needs a position size calculator is MT5, okay, and MT4. Those are cash accounts, and there you can go to the MQL5 community, and you can download many free calculators on there. But if you're trading on platforms like this, so you can work it out here. You don't need a calculator or anything like that. You can literally go in here. This is gold, and let's say I wanted to take a long trade on a buy. I could just say, what's my stop loss going to be? And so, I want my stop loss at 29.20. I'm just going to use this as an example, okay? 29.20. I'm not going to buy anything. And then it tells you that you're going to lose $99 on 0.04 lots. Oh no, I want more than that. So then you can go, I want 0.8 lots. And then it tells you you're going to lose $2,000. Oh no, that's far too much. 0.05 lots, $124. You can work out the size of your trade just like that. And you can work out your take profit from it as well. You can just click on take profit. You can put them where you want to take profit. Then you can decide what size your trade is. So if you've got a platform like this, makes it very easy for you to actually get your trades in. But like I say, if you're on MT5, then just go to MQL5 community. It's on the top right-hand corner of your platform. Just sign in there. And there's a whole bunch of different free... There are paid ones as well, which are obviously better. but there's a whole bunch of free ones there, position size calculators that you can add to your MQL, your MT5 account or MT4 account very easily. All the other platforms, nah, they'll do this. They'll do exactly this. It's the only one I know of that doesn't work is MT MetaTrader. I don't know why. Boom, 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 boom. I have actually already made a video. I see you got a question here. Please make a video about investing and how to invest into ETF. Now, I do already have 1 or 2 videos on investing if you want to look for them. But like I said, I'm going to make a little series on that now because I see a lot of people don't actually think about it. They don't actually think on that line. And I've actually I'm putting a video together on kind of my biggest regrets. And one of my biggest regrets is that when I was young and a kid, I didn't listen to people my age. And I didn't listen to the guys telling me, Rob, invest, invest, invest. And I wasn't listening. I was just trade, 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 trade. And it took me a few years to get the aha moment and realize, oh, hang on a minute, that's a good idea. So I was pretty stupid about it. And I should have just started at a very, very young age. And that would have been even better. But even with, 20 years old, or whatever the case, you make quite good, decent money. But like I say, yeah, that is something. So I will, yeah. Yes, I'm good clicking on them to delete as I can end up with too much lines and indicators on chart and trading view and trading 212. You right click on them and click on the bin that appears at the top. Yeah, no, they disappear quite quickly. Yeah. Yeah, you just got to figure that out. Yeah. So I don't know why MetaTraders never updated their stuff, to accommodate, picking a trade size or whatever the case. Look, on the 5 minutes, they're very difficult to use, because I put this on the 5 minutes just for fun. But if you're trying to pick a 5 minute here, it's really difficult to quickly get your stop loss in, and because on the 5 minutes you really got to work quickly. So you kind of got to know your trade sizes. So what I used to do when I traded on faster time frames, which is another regret of mine, trading on fast time frames, what I used to do is I used to know exactly what size my trades would be. So I knew basically on the Forex, on the big Forex things, so I'd have a watch list this size as well, but I knew what kind of size gold I would buy. I knew what kind of size indexes, US 500, S&P 500, let's say, the Dow, the All Share in South Africa, the Jap 225 Nikkei. I knew what size my trades were going to be up front in my head. I remembered the sizes. I knew that I was going to trade a contract there or 2 contracts there, and I had it all worked out. So, and another way to work it out, which I can't do on MetaTrader anymore, but in the beginning, I used to be able to have a demo account with my live account. For some other reason, I can't have it anymore. It doesn't allow me, but I used to be able to have it. And then I would go to the demo account and check what size that is, and then go back to my live account, quickly switch over and take the trade. That was another trick that I used for working out my trade sizes back in the day, because they differ on different platforms. So they're never all the same, and it's a little bit complicated. But yeah, like I said, if you want to go to MQL5 community, you'll find a few calculators there as well. But I used a lot of fancy little tricks when I was younger with that. And especially when you want to trade fast on 5 minutes, you can't sit and work it out like we do here. You can't sit and go, okay, I'm going to sell, I'm going to buy. Let's have a look at the stop loss. We've got loads of time on a 4-hour chart or a day chart or even in a 1 hour. But on a 5 minute, it's like moving and you want to take the trade. So I really basically just knew what size my trades would be. Shares were very easy. Shares, I mean, you just work out the price of the share against how many shares you're buying. It's as simple as that. It's a calculation in your head. And when you do this, the maths should come quite easy. It always did. So yeah, no, that is the way to do it. Okay, so this one took us out earlier. Maybe we can get back in again on this one, but we'll see how it goes. This CHF JPY. See, we got stopped out on a trailing stop, but we made $28. Can you believe it? But yeah, you put trailing stops in and that's what happens. But you have to do it. Otherwise, I mean, you would have made that scalping anyway, so it doesn't really make a difference. Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar, Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar. Where are you? I know you are here. There you go. Okay. My computer's acting like it did yesterday. It's got Kevin virus. Just kidding, bud. No, yesterday it slowed up immensely. And you know what it was? Windows update. Would you believe? This is a Windows computer, by the way. This is not an Apple. Yeah, the Apples are much better when it comes to updates. I'll tell you what. Okay, so Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar. Let's just do a quick bit of research on it. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take this out now. That I'm going to leave there, and that I'm going to leave there on the day because that looks right. And it's in a range. It's definitely in a range. That's a interesting range. Let's just see. I'm on the day chart. I'm just looking. Trend line. Let's just put a trend line in just quickly. It's one of my problems there. Is when I put a trend line in, it comes out a different color. There you go. That's just a short-term trend line to see what the hell is going on. Let's take it back to the H4. Let's take it back to our candles and see what we've got. Looks to me like it's going to break through this little resistance that we got here and give us a long trade. So yeah, pretty long. Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar, pretty long. It looks like it's going to go long. Not yet though, not yet. It's hitting this kind of resistance level here, but it has bounced up off the support. So you would have gone long from the support anyway. But now that we're here, now we're on that resistance, then I would just wait a little bit longer and just see if it goes to the upside and breaks through this trend resistance. If it breaks through that trend resistance, you've got a nice long trade going to the upside. And the risk to reward's really good because your risk is down here at 109.4 and your reward's up here at 111.4, which is quite far up in comparison. So yeah, a long trade looks like the way to go there. It looks decent. And you see how all these things are sticking out here. But I mean, what we can do is we can take it to the 4 hour as well. And you can move this around a little bit if you want to. On the 4 hour, you can just play around with it a bit, get a bit more accurate. And yeah, just for a bit of accuracy. There's only a slight push through there. That's not bad at all. So you can wait for that just to break up and break to the upside and give you a clear signal. Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar for a nice long trade. Okay, the tails on the Aussie insane. I just laughed out loud. Yeah, not that bad. They're okay. There's some tails, but yeah, that's okay. I'm actually surprised that there's even trades here on the Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar, because they do tend to trade along with each other, but they obviously move up and down in this range. So you're picking it up off the bottom and going to the top of the range. Just remember, this is going to trade in a range big time, and look at it, it's trading in this range, and it's going to stay in that range because it's the Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar. What you have to remember about the Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar is they both sort of trade along the same line. For example, if you go Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar, Japanese yen, and you, let's find a US dollar, New Zealand dollar, US dollar, you know, it looks like that. And if you go to Australian dollar, US dollar, it looks the same. Keep that in mind. So now you know, well, wait a minute, you know, these two, the Australian dollar and New Zealand dollar, are trading in a very close proximity, a bit like the Great British pound and euro, but they still do find a way to trade against each other. So you're going to trade in a range with something like that, always. Okay. Looks like Brent wants to kick me in the butt again. Okay. I always wondered if chess players can be good traders. Well, I wouldn't compare trading to chess. As a kid, I was a pretty good chess player, but I never thought I'd be a trader. Yeah, nah, it's a different ball game. That totally different ball game. If you're a good chess player, it just means you might be intelligent enough mathematically to handle it, to work things out, to put two and two together, I suppose. But you need a lot of logic, and you need to see past a lot of things. You know, like I always say, far too many traders out there see trading as a maths game, as a objective thing, when it's very subjective. It's got a lot to do with human beings more than anything else. Yep. Not many viewers with us today. It's a little bit quiet. I hope everybody hasn't given up trading and run away because the markets have gone down a little bit and gone into panic. That would be that would be sad, wouldn't it? Oh no, I'm not trading anymore. I'm out of here. Yeah, no, insane. Imagine that. That would be crazy stuff. But yeah, I noticed maybe the YouTube does drop off when things are a little bit tricky. Yeah, things are hard to handle. And as far as the Discord channel goes, I see a lot of guys, have their Discord channel. And we've got one as well, but I'm not very good with it. I don't really post anything on it, and I don't get involved with it much. I should, but then I have to do it. But one of the big things you've got to worry about there's a scammer that's trying to copy my name. That's trying to copy who I am and trying to sell people stuff on the Discord. So just be careful of that. Just be very, very careful of that. I won't be selling anything to you on Discord, okay? So if somebody says they're me and they're trying to sell you something off Discord, tell them no. That's not going to happen. That's not the right person, okay? That's for sure. So, yeah, it looks like we've got very few people on the live stream today. That's odd. Very odd. Strange thing, actually. Well, actually, you know what I'm going to do, Kevin? You say you're in on Brent and US dollars, CHF, and you're thinking of holding them over the weekend. I'm actually going to leave these trades and let them play out, because I can't see anything happening over this weekend that's going to cause these Forex trades to fall apart. I wouldn't hold the US 500, but these Forex trades, I'll be quite prepared to take a gamble on that. Yeah, normally, Grizzo, we've got a lot more people on the live show. Normally we've got normally about 30 or 40 sometimes. Street sales, yo, how's it? So, yeah. But I guess I know my views are not that popular, but I'm pretty sure the channel's supposed to be growing. But yeah, I'm sure it's fine. It's just that, I noticed that when markets go down like this, people start backing off, or start getting nervous, and they're not going to trade anymore, and that sort of thing. So then off they go. It's one of those things, though. That's life. It's hard, guys. The way of the world. The way of the world. But we'll see what happens. Yeah, I'm kind of in that mindset, Kevin, of for this account particularly. I mean, I'm not going to go bankrupt if things go pear-shaped, am I? So, because I mean, it's a funded account, so I'm just going to leave it and see what happens. That's fine. I worry more about the cash accounts, because the cash accounts, that's real money that's going to disappear. And also, you must also be careful with the real accounts. The broker's going to come to you on Monday morning and say, you don't just owe me the money you've lost, you owe me the extra $1 million for the extra downside here that you didn't that it went to. So be careful of that. With these funded accounts, it's more you just pay for the account and that's it. Yeah, that's fine. But with a cash account, with a real cash accounts, if you go into arrears, then you owe the broker that money. Some trades take weeks to make profit. Actually, Eugene, it's actually quite insane. Some of them actually take longer than others. It's quite crazy. Quite crazy. Some trades just, linger around. But that's what attracts people to these 5-minute charts. That's what attracts people to this. Because this is on the move. So they think, oh, now we're going to start moving now. And then things are happening here. So you take a trade here because there's action. And then you get all caught up in it. And then you end up actually losing the money. And then you end up taking a lot of pain because you're playing around with fire here. And that's always the danger of these 5-minute charts. Always the danger. For example, now what we would do with this 5-minute chart would be looking for money up here. Somewhere up here. So this is going to get all the way up to here. What is this? Brent crude. So it's going to come all the way back up here before it goes back down again. It's in a bearish trend on the 5 minutes. It could get all the way back up to here. All the way at the top here. So, so you can actually take a long trade on this right now in the 5 minutes. Big gamble to take though. You're going against the trend here. You're breaking structure. But your 5 minute, it's going up. But you'll sweat all the way up here. And that's the trouble with 5-minute charts. Do you know Shroud? He's a esports player. He used to stream with only 2 views for 2 years. Now he gets very good views. Yeah, I hear what you're saying, Pritesh. I totally hear what you're saying. A lot of people have said, stick with it. And, I do it because you guys are here. And the fact that you guys are here is important enough for me because there's 20 or 30 of you guys or 40 of you guys that need the information. And I don't mind. And that's good. And I don't know, I like building things. I like creating things, which is why I've had businesses in my life and why I did trading and that. I like to see success and the fruits of my labor, let's say. So when I build something, I build it. I don't walk away, I build it. So this channel is a project for me. It's a bit of fun and it's building, and I will not see it fail. I will see it do well, and that's it. You don't have to worry. I'm not going anywhere. I am definitely going to see it through because that's my personality. That's what I do. I see everything through. That's why I've been trading for 30 years. Otherwise, I would have been gone in the first year. That's for sure. I would have been gone. One thing, I don't know how many of you guys are, but for the younger guys, understand this one thing in life. And I'm not a person who's spent much of my life working for a boss. The first part when I, started working in that, yeah. But after that, I started my own stuff. And all and every single business that I've ever been in, including trading, okay, it takes at least 2 years for it to start showing the fruits of your labor. And you may find that quite daunting, but it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter what company you have. I've had retail stores. I've had different kinds of businesses, and every single business that I've done, including trading, takes 2 years for it to start to show the fruits of your labor. That's got a lot to do with the amount you have to put into it. And there's a learning curve for a human being with every single thing they do. And you get better and better at it as you go along. So no matter what you do, it's going to take a couple of years for you to get there. So even with this YouTube channel that we've got here that I'm going to make a successful channel and see it and enjoy the fruits of my labor, it'll take 2 years. and we've been going for about a year and maybe a bit long, slightly over that. It'll take a couple of years for it to show the fruits of the labor, just like every other venture that I've ever encountered or done. So no, don't worry about it. That's the thing. And once you succeed at it, like with trading, then it's there. So you sort of stick with it for years. Some of the other businesses that I had in my life, they kind of overlapped with trading, so I had to let them go, but I sold them, huge profit, so that's no problem, But things like, even if you invest in property, that's not going to give you instant success either. It's going to take time. Yeah, I know there's a lot of guys out there that are sprouting this, like you can make $1 million in a day and you're going to be successful in a week and all this rubbish, but every single thing that I've ever done takes 2 years. Okay. Yeah, a fellow South African in the trading game. Yeah, I've been in it for a long, long time. Grizzo, if you want to invest, you should look at a Easy Equities account. It actually works well because you can invest anywhere in the world. It's with GT247 Purple Capital. They're really good. And just because you're South African, I'm just letting you know they're cheap. They connect to the banks and that sort of thing. It's really good. And if you can just type them in online. If not, you can. I've left a link for South Africans in my description. I don't get anything from it apart from a scratch on the back or whatever the case. Bully for you sort of thing. You don't get much from that, but it's just handy for the South Africans if you want a good brokerage account, because the banks can be quite expensive at times and the different brokers and whatnot. There was a time when I was traded directly onto the JSE, but wow, that was a pain in the butt, because if you're not a licensed broker, then like selling your shares is not instant, eh? You gotta contact them and then they take a day to sell them and they give you the price that they think they can get, and it's insane. It's actually better to trade through these broker guys and stuff like that. You get a much better deal. Okay. Yeah, the worst thing about having your own business and creating quality employees that rely on and above all trust. Yeah, it's sad to say, but in some of the businesses that I had so many employees that stole from me, even the cleaner. Can you believe it? And one of the worst things that you've got is you start a business, you have a set amount of staff, and you're running the business with that staff, and then they don't come to work. I mean, then you have to basically go and do their jobs for them, if you're not a massive company or whatever the case. So, no, it becomes a real pain unless you've got a really, really big company. I mean, there was one stage where I had the two retail stores in different, one about 10 or 15 k's from the other. And then you're at the one store and then the other store's got no staff. You got to rush over to go and sort that store. I tell you what, you can keep that. So sold those. Oh, yeah, no. That I actually sold another retail store as well, way back. But retail stores, it's a mug's game as well. Makes a lot of money, though. Make a lot of money. Yeah, it is the way of the world. You're quite right. It is the way of the world. It's insane. Yeah. So I wonder if one day we will have a decent live stream with lots of people on it and lots of people watching the videos. I don't know. Don't know what's going on there, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But like I say, don't worry. We'll stick it out. We'll keep it going. And we'll keep it running as long as we possibly can for everyone. Well, forever, in fact, because like I said, I'll see it through and I'll make it work. Like everything. I'm going to put that series of videos together for you guys on investing. I think it's important, the financial side of things, so that you guys can understand how that works, because it works slightly different to trading. You know, with trading, it's stop loss and risk management and all the rest of it. Whereas with investing, it's set and forget. You know, you choose your stock or your share, and you buy it and you own it, and off you go. But not one. You need a few to keep you going. And yeah, but once you start, that's also addictive, eh? You just keep adding to it, adding to it, adding to it, adding to it, and then you watch the account grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. That can be quite addictive, let me tell you. You know, in the beginning you think, oh, I've got to add to my account. You know, I've got to take money out, add to this. But after a while, you start seeing it grow, it becomes addictive. You'll enjoy it. That's for sure. You will enjoy it. Okay. I almost feel like I got the worst live show in the world when I look at the views, but we have to get over that. It's a bit like losing trades, you know? Yeah, no. Peter Hatting, what is your view on MetaTrader 5 for paper trading? Yeah, I don't know actually. You know, I kind of use it for real trading. Like I say, I was in the old days, I was able to have a demo account alongside my real account, but it was given to me by my broker, and I don't have it anymore. So I couldn't really tell you, and I can't really, I didn't bother to even try and get it reactivated or anything. I just left it. But if you're going to use MetaTrader 5 as your real account, then yeah, use it, obviously, because then you learn how to use the platform. That goes without saying. But if you're not going to use it, then no, don't bother. Just use something else. What I would do is, well, what I did in the past was I'd always go to the broker, and then with that broker get my real account and get it opened. You can open most accounts with a zero balance, if not a very small balance, and then ask them for the demo account on the side, which you can use to play with. And then you use that to get used to your platform, to get used to the instrument sizes, the contract sizes, that sort of thing, the lot sizes and what have you. And then that will hold you in good stead. That works. That actually works. It's a pleasure, Lincoln. Certainly. I'm as honest as the day is light, but it was in charge of men who were not, and my manager would not sort it out, so I walked away and left them. Yeah. Seemed fine to me. The MT5 sim works well. I do trade live through MT5 as well. I use MT5, MT4 as my two trading accounts. MT5 and MT4 are much of a muchness, very much the same. Just got some colors on the MT4. But yeah, it's a fantastic trading platform. Don't get me wrong. I mean, but I think they're a bit outdated now these days in comparison. But yeah, you can't go wrong. But I would say if you're going to have a demo account, at least have it on the platform that you intend to use as your real account, because then you know what you're doing. It just helps you, because it also, like I say, it helps you understand your contract sizes and all that sort of thing. It's important that, I think, to understand that. Yeah. But yeah, no, I don't think at my age I will ever be starting another physical business. I'm done with it. I'm totally done with that. I had enough of that. So I just have my trading now, and I keep myself busy with this YouTube channel, this is a project for me that I want to grow, and I want to see it become something. And it's like I'm building something. I enjoy that. I like building things. It's an entrepreneurial blood thing. You know, you can't get away from it. You know, you're always looking to build something new, and this is great. I'm going to build it and enjoy building it. But I don't think I'll be starting any more physical companies in the future and keeping them going. Yeah, I've been with GT247 for near on the 30 years, probably 25. How long have I been with them? Gee, it's difficult to say. A long time, a really long time. Okay, been with them a long time. Good guys, they're good guys. They're owned by Purple Capital in the UK. They're on the share on the South African market. They're all share as well. They're good. They're pretty good. You can deal with them. Yeah, you wouldn't think they've been around that long. No, they've been around a long time. They've been around a long time. They've been around a very long time. Yeah. Them and a few others. In the old days, we used to deal with the IG a lot. They were big time in South Africa at one time, but now they struggle to move money around from the UK to South Africa and whatnot. It's quite complicated these days. So it's good to have a local company. Who was the company I was with? Sure, I was so lucky with that company. They closed down. Yeah. There was a guy actually worked for GT247. He went there and he took one of my accounts over there. And we traded there for a couple of years. And luckily we were good friends and he warned me, told me this place is going down. I took all my money out and like a week later they shut down. Yeah. Yeah, IG is expensive, probably because they're in the UK. Still have an account with them, but I think it's because they're in the UK and I just didn't close the account as well. But I still do a little bit of trading here and there with them. But there is a problem with moving money between South Africa and here and there when there's large sums of money, so you can't really have a massive account. But yeah, they're great in their own way. In their own way, yeah. They have a lot of useful things and stuff, but yeah. I don't mind them at all. IG is not a bad company to be with. $1998. Probably, yeah. Makes sense. Makes sense. Because somewhere around there, they were very new when I got involved with them as well. And, you know, it was like a trust thing. Like, it's kind of like, how can we trust you? Because at that time as well, Purple Capital had a really, really big problem. Back then, there was a thing before the margin call thing. You know, these days they're very careful with margin calls. But back in those days, they had these like guys that would like, they'd go into the red and then they'd say, just spot me, keep me going. And they ran a guy way into the millions and then he couldn't pay the money back. And Purple Capital really took a big knock. And they were all over the news. It was back then. And I can tell you what, their reputation was in tatters back then. And I took a chance on them. I really did. I took a chance on them. And I spoke to the guys at length and we went together and invested with them. And I can tell you, all these years later, they're still around. They've got a good reputation now. They built huge businesses. You know, Easy Equities belongs to them as well. I can tell you they've grown from strength to strength over those years. Back then, you wouldn't have easily put money with them after what happened to Purple Capital. Rand Swiss, also decent. Yeah, also decent. Pretty reasonable. You start talking about long years, eh? So many years in the business and so many things going on. Incredible, actually. Absolutely incredible. So today I'm going to leave a little bit early, guys, because it's about 15 minutes early. Because I do have a few things to do, and I must go and pack and all the rest of it and get myself sorted out. And I've got a video scheduled for you guys for tomorrow, so don't worry about that. You'll still get your video, and you'll still get your members video in the morning. Not to worry. Trade of the day, and then I'm going to hit the road. So I'm going to say bye, and you guys must enjoy the rest of the day, enjoy the weekend, and take it easy with the trading. We didn't do the 5-minute charts today, but that's okay. It's not our thing anyway. And I just wanted to show effectively what, what's what. Just check, Kevin, with Purple Capital. I don't know, you'll have some kind of account in the UK. They've got stuff in the UK, probably GT247 as well. And I'm going to have a blast. I'm going to go and have a blast. Thank you, guys. I'm going to go and enjoy myself. I'm going to go take the weekend off, let's say. Wow. And I'm going to leave these trades in. And if they get taken out, so be it. Okay? I'm going to leave these trades here. I'm not going to watch them tomorrow because I'm not going to be here to watch them. Do come back and watch the video, though, that I've got scheduled for you guys for tomorrow. That's important. And you will get your trade of the day in the morning. Yeah. Don't overindulge in the booze. Kevin, I'm actually Scottish. So that's impossible. Yeah, no, totally. I'm going to go and enjoy it. Guys, I want to thank you guys for being here. The few of you that are here. And I'm going to hit the road and I'm going to be on my way. Thanks for being around, and I'll catch you on the rebound, and I'll see you next week. Don't forget the Tuesday live show.